Monday Report. Let's start the discussion right now. And joining me in studio is Honorable William Kabogo, Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communication, Technology and the Digital Economy. Thank you for making time, Waziri.
Thank you, Asante.
Let's get straight into it. Now, it's been just under 3 years and there have been 3 occupants in your Ministry of ICT. Are you concerned by the high turnover at the ministry?
You know, Trevor, first, thank you for hosting me here. And I've seen when you are putting up the ad, you've given me a new name, Sheriff in Town.
The new Sheriff in Town.
You want me to, you're risking me now to be fired. You've just said 2 have already gone, I'm the 3rd one. Well, really, I cannot say why the turnover, just to be honest. Only the appointing authority would say probably why. I can only guess that now I am there. Not even guess, certainly I'm there. And I'm probably sure he's confident that I will do the job.
Are you concerned, though, that the same fate might befall you?
Well, it does happen. Stuff happens, so really, I am not very concerned. I'm now concentrating on the job.
Okay.
I don't know for how long. I mean, it's the prerogative of the appointing authority, who is the president, to either keep you, move you, reshuffle you, or give you a red card. So for now, I hope no yellows, no reds. I should have a chance to work.
How did you get this appointment, Waziri?
Again, sometimes we say things because you look at me with the lens of a politician and imagine that everything we say, more so politicians and not leaders, that everything we say is made or made up. I tell you, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
There's a conversation in the public domain that you are a product of the handshake between President William Ruto and the former President
Kenya is
Kenyatta.
a vibrant nation with rumors and things like that. People just make up things. Of course, it came just after a visit of the president to Ishaweri. But I can tell you for free, I cannot speak for the Honorable Mutahi Kagwe or Lee Kinyanjui, but I can speak for myself. I'm 100% sure it had nothing to do with that visit.
None of them called you. Did the former president call you?
No, I haven't spoken to him in quite a while.
So how did you get the appointment then?
The only call I got the previous day was from the president.
And what did he say?
And he said, you know, William, I'm looking at stuff, I'm looking at things, and I think there's something I'm working on. He didn't say anything else. The next thing I saw it on a bulletin. I know it's hard to believe that, but that's the truth.
So you too were surprised?
I got nothing to gain or lose in terms of telling the truth. That's how it came to me.
Do you think...
I was very surprised, by the way.
What was your reaction then when you saw it?
I was like, God, I'm going to serve. I've been called to serve. Should I do this or not? You know, people were there now online. My phone started ringing. Things I have never even, people I haven't had 10 years or so. Oh, this or that, you know. Please don't take. Oh, no, go do the job. And I said, this is service to my country. I am called to serve, human.
Yeah.
And service to humanity is service to God. So why would I say no?
So that conversation with the president sounds like it was a very short conversation.
It was less than a minute.
And he just said...
And he said he will call again, which he didn't.
So he just told he's working on something and that's it?
Yeah, that's it. And Trevor, that's the truth. That's the way it is.
Okay.
It surprises me as it surprises you.
Do you feel ready for this role then? Because if you're not prepared
more than ready. I can serve. I have served before, you know that. My track record is clear that I can serve. I'm now almost 10 or so days in the office or in this new calling, and I'm learning the ropes quickly. I know what's happening, I know what's not happening. Now it's what I want to do, because I understand what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be a leader.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be the guy who puts the resources and including human together and letting people do what it is that they should do. Of course, you saw during my vetting, I tried to tell the team, as I was walking in, someone says, Nasa Huyu, he's been given this job, even a computer he doesn't have. I attempted to answer that by saying I used a computer first in 1992. But people, because of these things that we have in Kenya, you know, people just start picking things. You see, leaders go to TV stations and say, this guy now is talking about ICT like it's a computer. You see how we are.
What did you mean by that?
I was just answering a concerned Kenyan about me not having a computer. And I said I used it when it was green. You know, I don't know whether you were around then. It was, we were using MS-DOS, Microsoft disk operating system. And then that was just to cover the concerns over Kenya.
Yeah.
But be that as it may,
yeah.
The job is not easy. It is quite a task, but I'm up to it because we have perfect, knowledgeable people in the ministry. I have come to realize because I've done my rounds now in the ministry. And I've seen the sort of potential young men and women we have. So to get things done there wouldn't be hard at all.
Okay. There's a general notion, Waziri, around appointments, that an appointment is only done on grounds of expertise or political value. Where do you think you fall?
When you say expertise, what do you require to be a minister?
At least background knowledge.
You're required to be a leader. Just that, to understand that you're required to have efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency, you need to be a manager.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the roles of a minister, simple policy, to drive policy, to keep evaluating and changing the policy as need be.
Yeah.
Legislative work of the ministry, advising the president. So really, I'm not supposed to be a computer guru or a program writer.
Yeah.
We have them in the ministry. It's just a matter of putting them in their right places. And that's the job of a manager.
Do you think you bring political value?
Well, if I were the appointing authority, looking at how political Kenya is, it's also good to consider politics, because if I tell you that it's not worth considering, then I would be telling you a lie, because the president is looking at serving this remainder of this term and probably getting additional mandate from Kenyans. So if you add value and you can do the job, then it means you have a double plus. Yes.
At the PCA Mukuyu Church, and let's talk about politics before you talk about your ministry, you said that there's a big disconnect between the government and the people of Mount Kenya. What did you mean?
There is, I didn't say exactly that, but sometimes you misquote people. I was being led by question, what is the disconnect between the people of Mulima and government? I said some of these things have nothing to do with anything. It's just politics.
So you don't think there's a disconnect?
Well, politics there, when you see people being given a message of condolence sent by the president to be read to a bereaving family, and they are not allowed to read it, that's definitely a disconnect.
And are you
that's what I said in Mukuyu. Government is elected or put in place to serve, to govern the people. So government is done by people. For example, the head of state, for example, us cabinet ministers, we have a role to play ourselves in governing. So I was telling in that Mukuyu church, and sometimes, you know, you folks, you just appear from nowhere and you want questions answered. I probably actually will tell you I never do these interviews in church. But it was the first one. I accepted to listen and answer.
Yeah.
And I said, what is happening in Mulima is unique. The issue of finance bill and abductions is a national issue. It should be everywhere in the Republic of Kenya. But what you see there is what you would call in Swahili uchochezi. Now this is what I was trying to explain to this journalist and the people who were there, that government serves through people. For example, you're saying the roads of Mau Mau roads that it cuts across counties in the central region have stalled. So the leaders from that place should be able to go and find out why these projects have stalled, isn't it? Who will they go to? Ministry of Roads, probably the MP will find out. And you probably may need to go to the president. So if these things, you're throwing stones and everything to the president, he probably will want to give you time to settle and cool down so that these programs can continue.
Yeah.
And I was telling people, and I was saying, I'm not now a worker of Kiambu. I'm a worker for Kenya. I'm appointed as Cabinet Secretary for the Republic of Kenya. But the questions and stuff in our local dialect, which is the Kikuyu language, I was saying we need to be careful. Because we may just be a noise-making region, a noise-making society there that causes things not to happen. And in vernacular, I said, you can compare government to a cow that gives you milk. For you to remove milk from the cow, you feed it. And you allow it. Some play music for cows. I don't know whether you're aware. For it to be able to be comfortable to release milk. So if it's our duties to start whipping it and chasing it, we'll not get the milk. I know it is a right for Kenyans to receive services from government.
Yeah,
it's a right.
Of their position.
It's a right. You don't have to go and plead and all these things. But remember, it is done within programs. You can't develop the entire infrastructure, road infrastructure of Kenya in the first year of government. So when do they decide, or how does government decide which part first?
So will they decide that based
which
on the
part? You know, sometimes we behave like we are not humans.
Yeah.
For example, one day I've seen you people come from Fourth Estate and vie for a constituency seat. True or not true? When an MP goes to serve, he's supposed to serve his constituents without a bias, without fear or favor. But remember that they are human beings. What they do is they first deal with where the votes are. That is the truth. We may say, no, that's not the quality of a leader. That's not how the leader should be. But I'm telling you, we are Kenyans.
Do you think the mountain is lost?
Mountain is not lost. This mountain is a very interesting place. You understand that what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling them, remember that we deserve, we demand, and we have to have. If you are in the mountain now, I'm not speaking as Waziri at that point. I'm saying you need to know that we deserve these services. Mm-hmm. But we must be careful how we play this game.
Okay. Because
it's a game every 5 years.
You say government is served through people, but the mountain seems unhappy with the impeachment of the Deputy President, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Was that a mistake?
Truly, I don't think that you can tell now that the mountain is not happy because of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua being removed. I took part in the discussion about just a day before he was taken to Parliament. And I said to him, I'm sure he got the message. If he didn't, too bad. And I'm sure I'll be answered too, and not in very polite ways, but it's okay. I said, you know, you are saying Apanaguza, Mrima. What exactly is happening? Because you are inside there, and you're telling, you are inside, and you're saying, don't touch? Please elaborate. Tell us more before tomorrow, because you're going in tomorrow, they will hang you. Tell us, so that if it's a Mrima matter, I have a problem with the Mrima pronunciation, so accept both to mean one and the same. If we are the target, of the system or deep state, which you were talking about when you were looking for votes, about the other regime having deep state and the system and everyone, and you are the same one who was talking about shares. Now, all of a sudden, you're telling us, usiguze mlima. I have a good support, base support. Please tell us before tomorrow, so that kama ni kufunga barabara ya Thika Road, ndiye tutume message kwa wadosi that they should not touch you. Tell us. Because from what we have seen published are 11 issues that all are of personal nature. Please tell us. They didn't tell us. I still believe there was a chance for him to explain. But you know, systems or internet or this new space that we live in doesn't forget.
Yeah.
If you really play back everything His Excellency Deputy President, as he was then, talked about, tells you of his character.
Okay.
And he gave them a chance. True or not true? He gave them a chance. So that was his baby. He needed to carry it.
Okay.
And I'm telling people to be careful not to be misled. You understand? And I gave an example because you told me, I gave an interview, yes, in Mukoyo. And I said, you know bus station, Trevor? It's called Machakos. It's not in Machakos, it's in Nairobi, but it's called Masako. When you want to go home by bus, that is the place you go to. If you're from Vihiga, there's one written on the board. To Vihiga Express, or to Vihiga via somewhere else. Thika, it's written there. So you find there's traffic of people there who are on their way somewhere.
Yeah.
You understand? And they board according to the board. What's written there?
Yeah.
So when you find a board there, written going nowhere, utaingia.
Who's going nowhere?
I'm asking, the board of the bus is written going nowhere.
Yeah.
Would you enter that bus? Of course not. Because that's not where you want to go.
Yeah.
You want to go to Vihiga, Thika, Makweli. So people in the region, please be careful.
So you feel the Mount Kenya?
Yes, be careful. Utaingia basi haiendi nowhere. Again, old dogs, Trevor, don't learn new tricks. And I tell you, nitachapwa. Kwanzia kesho. Hey, nitachapwa vilivyo, but I am okay with it.
Okay.
There's something called track record. And you people put us on the scale to weigh who we are and where we are coming from. True? So, isn't it the same for Kenyans? To check our track record, who we are and where we come from, to see whether you can be a driver of a bus. Kama rekodi yako ni kuangusha mabasi na hujui kuendesha, inaenda ikigonga miti as it is, would I board that bus? You understand? You weigh us all the time, you people. Can people also weigh us? Before you go to election to elect your member of parliament, please check what you're electing. You elect people to go and represent you in the National Assembly. You understand? So that primary duty of an MP is to represent you so that you're not taxed without representation. Public participation is a strong element of the Constitution 2010. But we wait until it is there, then we start making noise. Trevor, is it a fact or not that there's a government in place?
Okay.
No, you can't say okay. Isn't it a fact? This is a discussion between you and I. Isn't it a fact there is a government in place? In our Constitution, 2010, it says how you can remove a government. The only way, it says there how it can happen. So we should not envisage the coming down of a government in any other form, so to speak. We also are in a democracy that says the majorities shall have their way, but the minorities shall have their say. You will find that the other part of the say, it never is given any space, even by people. So we must nurture our democracy.
But
and agree to live within the rules.
But
you get what I'm saying?
Nobody's living outside of the rules in this case, because the current formations that we're seeing are all geared towards 2027. They say they're going to make the president a one-term president.
I'm a serious person in FAS supporting our Constitution. I believe in picketing. We give it a space in our Constitution. But we need to read the letter and the spirit that you are free to picket. You understand? Lawfully, unarmed. It is a very simple sentence. Would I interfere with picketing that is done in accordance with the Constitution? I would not.
But do you also admit that there were certain excesses by the government? We saw young people.
You know, when you start seeing people now blaming each side, when you see, you hear people say, listen, you hear people say,
stay within the Constitution.
You hear people say they were peaceful up to a certain extent. Others say there were goons who were brought. Because when it says unarmed and you have a stone or a sling, you are armed. Remember the beginning of my submission to you in a couple of minutes ago was that we need to live within some understanding. The other day I said, when I was in KBC, that we need to use internet. You understand? With respect to each other. You understand? That we know you have a right to your say, freedom of expression. But that right is limited to where it interferes with the rights of others. And I said, we do not imagine, we do not think of shutting out anyone, even though the capacity is there. So that is the bit they pick and run and say, oh, Kabogo, the new ICT Waziri is saying he will close.
That is among the first things you said.
I am saying I didn't say I will close. It's there, you can play it, you have the record.
What did you mean by that statement?
I said we use the internet responsibly. We are not in any business thinking of closing out anyone, even if the capacity is there. And I'll tell you why the capacity is there. To safeguard Kenya and Kenya's people. If there is a matter being propagated for war, we'll switch it off.
On which law will you do that? Because there's a freedom of expression on Article 33, which is what you mentioned. You said you're a stickler to the Constitution. Article 33 guarantees freedom of expression, Waziri. So how then can you want...
The government have sworn to protect the lives of Kenyans. If for one reason there is something that's happening on air, like it happened in Rwanda, 1994, by use of a radio, if that starts now, what would you do as government to protect the people? That capacity is given for such things.
So how do you decide then that this is responsible?
It is not me, it's that security committee. But I'm saying, when you are very angry because somebody has put a lie about you, Trevor, online.
Then I go to court for defamation.
That's not it.
I don't switch off.
No. No one has said you switch off. I said responsibly.
Yes. So defamation
you are
there.
feeling like something has happened. and you are not happy with what has happened, we have the law. Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act 2019.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't allow you to stop any internet conversation.
Now, see where you're going. See where you're going, Trevor. Hang on
for defamation.
You see where you're going. You're driving me on an engagement with you about closing. That is not on the table.
Okay.
It's not on the table at all. So please get off that lane. We are talking about responsibility of Kenyans to use internet responsibly.
Okay.
And I've told you the only situation if I don't know whether I'm still on my...
It's fine, yeah.
Something there happening. That I would not envisage or imagine where we switch off Facebook. You've seen recently they've been asked to have resident offices so that you have somebody to talk to when these things happen.
Okay.
So the discussion of switching off is not on the table.
Okay.
At all, and I want you to remove it from even yourself, Trevor, because people say he was on TV yesterday and this is what he said. I said it's not there. It's not on the table. You understand? We need also to tell the guys who own these platforms, let's be responsible. We've known that information causes war. We can have people start doing funny things because of information that is credible or good, bad, or whatever it is. You get my point? So as a new Waziri for ICT and Digital Economy, and where broadcasting falls, I want Kenyans to be able to express themselves. But expressing yourself doesn't mean you must be insultive, abusive. And I said, I'm going to have a platform where everyone will be able to talk to the Minister of ICT on issues ICT. Come in and talk to us. But I hope that when we open the X platform or whatever platform we will use, it will be decent engagement.
And if it is not?
If it is not, then you should be able to ask the person, you found me on this platform, you better leave.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
All right.
It's my space.
Okay.
It's my space.
Let's come back.
So allow, Trevor, allow me to continue engaging those who want to have a discussion.
Okay. I'll take a quick break, Waziri. When we come back, there's a lot of questions from the people that are going to start engaging you now or live on air. Excellent. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some of your questions from a Trevor Mbidi at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Monday Report, and 22422 is our SMS line as well. Tell us where you're watching and tell us your name as well and pose your question. We'll pose as many of them as we can. See you in a bit.